Your body is highly intelligent, but highly intelligent in a way that you can actually predict what it's going to do, because the body cannot predict the future based on your thoughts. It can only predict the future based on what you did in the past. Groundbreaking news regarding muscle growth. One argument never gets old. How do you grow the most amount of muscles? How do you get in the best shape? Are you going to do low reps, high weight, or are you going to do low weight, high volume? Today, we are answering all your questions. To start off, the best way to get results is through progressive overload. What do I mean by that? Well, you either increase your weight, you increase the reps, you increase the sets, you can shorten the amount of time you have between sets. There's a couple of ways. These are some of the general ones. Scientific studies shows regarding the amount of workouts you should have during a week should be 2. For a natural athlete, the amount of set workouts per week should be 2. You have the option to do 3 as well. Of course, you have people who actually get some better results, but we are not talking about the exception. We are talking about the general rules. Assisting muscle groups responding better to high volume. Why is this? Well, because your small muscles, called assisting muscle groups, are probably used to, in everyday life, doing things with low weights, a lot of repetitions, right? So if you're doing a sit-up, people are putting on weights and doing weighted crunches and stuff, and they're like, you know, eventually it's not a sit-up or a crunch. It's actually something like a lying down deadlift, or I'm not even sure what it is supposed to be. Your smaller muscle groups respond in a more positive way to lots of reps, maybe not as many sets. All of this, of course, you have to take in consideration that we are talking about isolating movements. What do I mean by isolating movement? Well, as a general rule, shoulder press, you should stop when you reach approximately the height of your shoulder. When you go lower than your shoulder, then it's starting to involve your chest, and it's not considered an isolation movement anymore. Why? Because you are breaking 2 joints. Another rule when it comes to isolating movements is as simple as this. If you're not feeling the tension in your muscle, the chances of you exercising this muscle is very slim. Put one hand on my chest, and if I can feel it getting more and more harder and harder, then the chances of me working that muscle is pretty high. But if I'm not, then, you know, if a muscle isn't hard, there's no blood in it, it's not getting a workout, you know, just like all your other muscles. Exercises with lower weights compared to doing it with high weight and less reps. Well, to be honest, everything has to do with you as a person, what you respond to. I would suggest that when you're starting your fitness journey, because that's what it is. It's a journey, right? You don't want to think of this as a job, thinking about it like, ooh, when I'm in 2 years, I want to look like this. I want to look like that. You know what? If I'm not having fun, I won't do it. If I'm not enjoying a workout, I'm not going to do it, right? Sometimes you have to do things because it's good for you, but working out should not be one of those things. Unless you're in a horrible physical condition and your doctor told you to do this and that, because otherwise this will be the consequences. I want to have fun because this is a part of my life. I want to enjoy myself as much as possible, and if I'm not enjoying the workout, the chances of me doing this for the rest of my life, living a healthy lifestyle, is very, very small. I'm not comparing myself to an elite athlete. As soon as you want to become one of the best in the world, the health and the healthiness of what you're doing becomes a second. The first priority is to become the best, and everything that gives you the health benefits stop being important. And this is the truth. Anyone who tells you anything else are lying. If you're an elite level athlete and you are concerned more about the health benefits of what you're doing, this is like you're never ever going to become one of the best in the world, because pushing yourself to the limit all the time is a big part of why you see so many injuries in elite athletes, because they have to do it. If they're not doing it, they're not pushing themselves harder and harder, and the chances of them becoming the best in the world is slim to none. Of course, you have 1 in a million that's just going to show up and become the world champion, but why are we discussing those guys? This is not. As you start, I would recommend keeping a journal, writing down everything you're doing, the amount of weight, the amount of sets, the work that you're doing, and then always try to improve. Always try to do the exercise better, more efficient. Do it in a way that's try to find weaknesses in your movements. Is the form or technique perfect? No. Okay, so improve that. Drop down the weight. The first couple of years should be about you learning what's best for you, to have fun. Keep in a journal, write down the weight, write down how many reps you're doing. Be super duper meticulous, because in the end, if you do this for a couple of months or a year, whatever is good for you, when you have enough experience, you will actually feel or know what's good for you, how to improve. If you're writing everything down,